Okay, welcome to Cool Smartphone and welcome to another recorded in the car video special. This is the LG G Flex2 and you can tell immediately why it's a little bit special, and it's because of this curve that you have here. And you can see the curve isn't quite as pronounced as the previous model, the G Flex. The screen isn't as large, but the screen is of better quality. If you are a follower of Cool Smartphone on Twitter or on the site, if you go to twitter.com/coolsmartphone, you'll know that the previous version had a bit of a screen issue when we reviewed it, and there was a bit of ghosting and other issues on the screen. Now, here, the G Flex2 is a lot like the other LG handsets in that you can double tap it to wake up the device. We can adjust the brightness here. Now you might notice there that's a full brightness. The screen brightness isn't quite as high, and it's not quite as good in direct sunlight as the LG G3, which I've been comparing this to quite a bit in the review, because the LG G3 is a lot like this device, except it obviously doesn't have the kink. The camera around the back is the 13 megapixel unit that we've seen on the G3. It has the laser focus functionality. You can hopefully see that if it's focused. We have a flash and the laser focus facility there. Oh, by the way, this goes up to 4128 by 3096 pixels. That particular camera there, you can see that hopefully. It's got stabilization as well, optical stabilization, so it should mean that your pictures don't jump around quite a lot. And there's a dual LED flash. Around the front is a 2.1 megapixel camera there, right next to all the sensors and stuff here, the proximity and the light sensors. And obviously you've got your earpiece there. You may be able to see, it's a bit tricky to show, but behind the screen at the top and the bottom here is quite an interesting finish, which it looks like it's spinning around when you move the phone. On this device, it's a 5.5 inch screen. It's got a 73.5% screen to body ratio, which means the screen takes up 73.5% of the overall body. It's a little bit less than the LG G3. There's a bit more of a chin here. This takes up a bit more space at the bottom and at the top. The plastic OLED screen is 5.5 inches. It's 1080p by 1920, which is a little bit lower resolution than the G3, and it's 403 ppi pixel density. Now what we've got in here though, despite the slightly lower resolution screen, is an octa-core Qualcomm Snapdragon chip. So we've got quad-core running at 1.5 and quad-core running at 2 gigahertz inside. It does make it very nippy. Also, what we've got inside of this particular unit is from Vodafone, and you can actually take the back off, and the battery isn't removable here, and it's curved as well. You put your SIM card in here, you put your micro SD card in there, so you can boost the storage. I believe there's 16 gigs of onboard storage here. You can put a micro SD in for more space, so you can put all your MP3s and your pictures and your videos on there. And it's got 2 gig of RAM, so it'll zip along quite nicely. There's various different models though with more storage and more RAM. Now what I'm going to show you, obviously the curve there is very nice. You've got the no buttons on the side at all, as many LG fans will be aware of. Come on, focus. So no buttons on the side at all, and the buttons are all on the back. Now with this device you can turn it on or off with that center button there. Turn the volume down, turn the volume up. What you can also do is just double tap the screen. That will wake up the screen and you can start using it. You've got this lock here, this lock system. You can have the knock-on system as well as the lock system, which means that you lock down the screen so it's nice and secure. Now, what else do we have in this particular device? Obviously on the bottom, we've got the micro USB charging point, we've got the microphone, and we have the 3.5mm audio port there. You can just see that in the light. On the top, where it gets painfully thin, we've got an IR blaster here, and we've got an extra microphone for noise reduction. Let's have a look. So obviously you got Wi-Fi, you got GPS, got all that usual fun stuff in there that we've grown to expect. We've got FM radio. That battery, by the way, is the same 3000 milliamp hour battery that I've seen on the LG G3, but it does last a little bit longer than my LG G3 in testing. I don't know whether it's because the screen maybe uses slightly less power, or maybe because I've installed slightly less apps than I have on my LG G3. The camera here is nice and snappy. The whole OS is very quick indeed. You can take HDR shots like this and it won't freeze or slow down. And the image quality is very good. Low light is very good. You've got a selfie cam, and when you turn on the selfie cam, and you're basically going to have a look now at an LG G3 filming all this, you can turn the beauty mode up or down, which kind of supposedly makes you look more beautiful. We also got, let's see what else we can show you, all the usual Google apps on here. So we've got the Play Store. You can grab everything from there that you normally would expect. We've got Google Maps, Play Music, movies and TV rather, books, newsstand, games, Drive, Hangouts, so you can chat with people, and of course you've got YouTube, and we have Chrome here too. So we can go to Google Smartphone. Obviously this is 4G compatible, so we can have Vodafone 4G on here. It'll be nice and nippy. It renders sites very quickly indeed, and obviously this is a mobile version of our sites, and you can go into various stories and they pop up very briskly indeed. The curved screen is very nice to use. It's almost natural, really. It feels quite natural. With your finger on the screen you can slide it up and slide it down, and it's quite nice to feel that curve under your finger rather than a flat screen as you normally would find. And when you're typing on the keyboard here, I've installed the Google keyboard with the swipe functionality, but obviously you can stick with the LG keyboard if you wish. The keyboard is very nice to type on even with the curved screen. It's not going to hamper you in any way, shape or form. The curve is actually quite nice. It's not a gimmick this time. I think last time it was a bit of a gimmick. It was curved a little bit too much. The phone was a little bit too large. I am grateful that this CPU is in here, is a bit faster, because it does help indeed. We've still got the LG Health stuff on here. Again, you're probably struggling to see this screen because the brightness is lower than normal AMOLED screens. We've got this little Vodafone Discover widget here, which shows you the battery, the internal memory, the SD card, how much that's being used. We've got your normal sort of home screen, and you can drag and drop stuff on there, create widgets, create shortcuts. We've got the LG Smart World app, which is kind of like a recommended apps function. We've got weather, which basically gets put onto your lock screen, so if it's going to rain, you'll see raindrops coming on your lock screen. You can fully customize the whole thing as you normally would. So I'll show you a little bit of customization. If we go into settings here, first of all go into display, I'll show you that lock screen here. At the moment it's just a swipe lock. You can go in here and you can do a knock code, so you can do the LG knock code, and that's where you have to actually specify areas of the screen that you tap in sequence to unlock the phone. So you can do patterns, pins and passwords if you wish. Oh, lots of P's. Pa 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 pa. I'll leave it on swipe. There's the weather animation that goes on top of the screen, and here you can see the brightness, which is set to full, and you can see that you can only kind of just see it. It's obviously better for me with the naked eye. You can change your notification LED on or off, rotate the screen, you can do loads of settings. Here's the screen off effect, the daydream mode, which comes on when you're charging, and various other options, including your network connectivity, your sound, and what music you want it to play, what notification noises you wish to have. So that really is a quick look at the LG G Flex2, and here, by the way, is the LG Home widget with this smart notice system, which pops up with helpful notifications that you may need. Yeah, that's the LG G Flex2 with its curve.